Welcome to a new episode of Book Summary of Coffee Can Investing by Saurabh Mukherjea, Rakshit Ranjan and Pranab Unyal. Coffee Can Investing: The Secret to Building Wealth While You Sleep. Imagine a world where you could invest your money once and then forget about it. No daily checking of stock prices, no panic selling, no chasing trends. Just patience and time doing the magic. Sounds impossible, right? Well, that is exactly what coffee can investing teaches us. A simple, powerful way to create stupendous wealth with low risk. Welcome to this journey through the book Coffee Can Investing: The Low Risk Road to Stupendous Wealth by Saurabh Mukherjea, Rakshit Ranjan and Pranab Unyal. A book that transforms the way you look at money, patience and wealth creation. So let's begin with chapter number 1, The Coffee Can Concept. The story begins. Once upon a time in America during the 1950s, a portfolio manager named Robert Kirby noticed something strange. One of his clients had passed away, and when he reviewed her investments, he found that she had simply invested in all the stocks her husband had bought. But unlike him, she never sold anything. Her portfolio had grown massively, far outpacing her husband's returns. Why? Because she let time and compounding work their quiet magic. That is when Kirby coined the term coffee can portfolio, inspired by the old Wild West practice of storing valuables in a coffee can under the bed and forgetting about them for years. The message was clear. Sometimes the best investment strategy is to do nothing, just let your good choices compound quietly. Chapter 2, The Indian Context. Can this work here? Now you might be thinking, that is America. Will this idea work in India? The authors say absolutely yes. India's economy is growing, companies are expanding, and long term opportunities are enormous. But the real challenge is not the lack of opportunities, it is our own behavior. Most investors panic when the markets fall or get greedy when markets rise. They buy high and sell low, the exact opposite of what smart investors do. The coffee can philosophy invites you to flip that mindset. It says pick great companies, invest and do nothing for 10 years. Simple, yes. Easy to do, not at all. But it is the patience that separates the average investor from the wealthy one. Chapter number 3, Building the Coffee Can Portfolio. So, how do you actually build this magical coffee can? The authors give a clear formula. Look for companies that have at least 10 years of consistent growth. Return on capital employed, that is ROCE, must be above 15% and revenue growth above 10%. Filter out the rest. These are businesses that have proven resilience, strong management, and sustainable profits. Imagine it like picking 10 to 15 players for your dream cricket team. You don't want the flashy one who performs once in a while. You want the dependable ones, the Dravids and Kohlis, steady, consistent, and reliable. Once you pick them, invest equally in all and then forget about them for a decade. No tinkering, no rebalancing, just let them play their innings. Chapter 4. Why patience beats intelligence. Here is a secret that shocks most people. In investing, time in the market beats timing the market. Even the smartest investor cannot predict short term movements, but the patient ones, they win big. Let's take a small example from the book. If you had invested like 1 lakh in Asian Paints or HDFC Bank 10 to 15 years ago and did nothing, your investment would have multiplied many times over. Not because you traded carefully or cleverly, but because you stayed invested while others panicked. The authors beautifully explain that markets reward discipline, not drama. The longer your holding period, the lower your risk becomes. That is why the coffee can approach is called the low risk road to stupendous wealth. It protects you from your own emotions. Chapter 5. The power of quality. Imagine two factories. One keeps changing products every few months to chase trends. The other sticks to a simple formula, delivers consistent quality, and earns loyal customers. Who wins long term? The second one always. That is the magic of quality businesses. The authors explain that companies with a high return on capital are like strong coffee, rich, consistent, and deeply satisfying over time. They generate cash, reinvest wisely, and grow steadily. These are the companies that belong in your coffee can. Chapter number 6. The behavioral trap, the enemy within. Now comes the real villain of the story, human behavior. Our brains are wired for action. When markets fall, we feel the urge to do something. But coffee can investing says, do nothing. That's hard. It feels unnatural. But remember, the coffee can works only when you forget it exists. The authors warn against checking your portfolio every week. The less you look at it, the better you will do. Because every time you pick, you invite fear or greed. And those are the enemies of wealth. Chapter 7. Examples of coffee can success. The book gives real life examples of Indian companies that have turned small investments into fortunes. HDFC Bank, consistency in performance. Asian Paints, unbeatable brand power. Marico, strong management and steady growth. Page Industries, jockey brand, niche dominance and great execution. These companies share one thing, decade-long track records of excellence. They did not become overnight sensations. They quietly compounded year after year. That is the coffee can magic in action. Chapter 8. The math of compounding. Let's do a little math. If your investment grows at 15% per year in 10 years, it becomes 4 times larger. In 20 years, it becomes 16 times larger. That is the power of compounding, the eighth wonder of the world. As Einstein once said, the book reminds us you do not need a super brain to get rich, you need time and discipline. Let your money brew like coffee, slowly, quietly, perfectly. Chapter 9, Building Wealth the Peaceful Way. The beauty of coffee can investing is that it gives you freedom from financial anxiety. You are no longer chasing every market move or hot stock tips. You create your portfolio, seal it in a mental coffee can, and go live your life. It's investing with peace of mind. It's wealth with wisdom. Chapter 10, The Takeaways. What we learned. Let's recap the core lessons of this timeless strategy. Number 1, choose quality over quantity. Pick fewer high quality businesses and hold them for long. Number 2, be patient. Let time and compounding do the heavy lifting. Number 3, avoid noise. Ignore market predictions and headlines. Number 4, trust the process. Once you have done your homework, stick with your plan. Number 5, do nothing. Sometimes the smartest move in investing is to stay still. So, you should and must read this book if you are someone who wants to build wealth slowly but surely. If you are tired of chasing quick returns, if you want your money to grow while you focus on living your life, then Coffee Can Investing is your book. It is not about speculations, it is about simplicity, patience, and trust in good businesses. So, pick your coffee can, pour in your best investments, seal it tight, and then forget it for a decade. When you open it later, you might just find a fortune waiting for you. So, that was all in this video. If you found this story inspiring, do not forget to like, share, and subscribe for more book based wisdom on wealth and life. Until next time, keep it simple, keep it patience, keep it brewing.